say, I'm dating, and I'm saying to myself, God, I'm going to do this your way. I'm going to wait this time. Okay, they quiet over there. I'm going to wait this time. And then you see him, you like, Jesus. You say, I'm dating. I feel it over here. This the real section right here? Okay. You say, I'm dating, and I'm saying to myself, God, I'm going to do this your way. I'm going to wait this time. Okay, they quiet over there. I'm going to wait this time. And then you see him, you like, Jesus, I shouldn't be calling your name with what I'm thinking right now. Say, I'm trying to do the right thing. I missed the mark. That's sin. Then there's transgression, which is a premeditated and willful violation of the law. It is, I know this wrong, but when I see you, it's on sight. I feel now, I got y'all back. Okay. God, your grace is going to have to be sufficient because I'm going to give them a piece of my whole mind when I see them. Transgression. I'm not talking about sin. I'm not talking about transgression because you choose your sinful behavior. You choose your willful, premeditated violation of the law. But you don't choose iniquity because iniquity isn't an action. Iniquity literally means crookedness or leaning. That's literally what it means. So when you hear the word generational iniquity, it is you will see people in a particular bloodline all leaning in the same direction. Mama leaning this way, grandmama leaning this way, sisters leaning this way, aunts leaning this way. And watch this. Iniquity doesn't mean you fall. Iniquity means it don't take much for you to. And everybody got an area in your life, if you're honest, where you can say, this right here, it don't take much. And people keep succumbing to their iniquity because they're not aware of their iniquity. So they do not put measures in place to protect themselves from their leaning. Let him who thinks he stands take heed unless he falls. And what happens is a lot of people judge people's leanings, not realizing that everybody got one. So you leaning like this, talking about people who leaning like that. Let me go to this side over here. You leaning like this, judging people who leaning like that. Everybody's leaning. I'm done, Tyra. But there are men in your life who hate the way they lean. They look in the mirror and they hate they fighting it. This is the word that Paul used, isn't it? Paul said, he said, that which I hate, I find myself doing. Whatever he's been called, if he's a man of God, he's called himself worse. Just remember that. Not excusing, not enabling, but he hates his lean. He doing his best to fight. And for some of them, he the only one in his family trying to fight it. What up? Real quick, give me a second. Question for you.
Do you want more peace? Do you want to be more productive? Do you want more purpose in your life? Do you want to be more profitable? If so, I can help you. I've got a mentoring and coaching group called Daniels Den. I want you to go to danielsden.com, find out more. I'll see you in the den.
He don't even have an example with his last name of what it means to win in that area. Because everybody else in this family didn't win and didn't try. I wish you could hear some of the stuff we say to ourselves. I wish you could feel the way we feel about ourselves. Not excuses. No excuses. Just understanding. He's fighting weaknesses he didn't choose. He's fighting to create wealth he didn't have. He didn't inherit it. So he had to build it. And he's reading scriptures that says that anyone who doesn't provide for their own relatives, especially those in their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. He's reading that and he's dealing with the tension. I want to be present and I want to provide. But sometimes I feel like I got to give up one to get the other. He's dealing with that tension. And some are dealing with the tension of feeling like I'm not providing enough. And that's not your fault. That's society's, that's social engineering. I understand that. But here's the truth of the matter is, sometimes, can I be honest? Sometimes we feel like we get mixed messages from y'all. I'm not saying you send it mixed messages. I'm just saying sometimes we feel like we get mixed messages. Because sometimes we see or we hear you articulating some of the things that you want. And we want to give them to you. Yet sometimes we got to be gone to get it. So sometimes we feel pulled in two directions. Because it's like you want this lifestyle, but this is what I got to do to give it to you. It's not your fault. No trophy, no cookie. Just understand it. We fighting that. How much is too much? How little is too little? If I'm out of balance over here, let me try to balance it over there. A man of God is fighting that in his head. Just understand it. That he feel that pressure. To make sure your kids are growing up in an environment where they feel safe. That you're putting them in a school district where all they have to worry about is their education. Putting them in a neighborhood where you feel like if you gone and you out of town and they traveling, they're going to be safe. It's tension. Because we don't want to win at work and lose at home. But we want to have a home to come back to. It's tough. Number 4, he's fighting to release truth that most people can't handle. And number 5, I'm done. He's fighting wounds they didn't cause. In my experience, the majority of wounds men carry are wounds of omission. It's not commission where somebody committed something, where they did something they shouldn't have done. It's omission. It's not that people did so much to them that was wrong. It was somebody didn't do enough that was right. And right now, I want to talk to some men. Every man, look at me. Look at me. I know where you are. See, I've been praying over this. And I say, God, if I'm a watchman of people's souls, as you describe it in Scripture, give me some insight into what's going on into the souls of men that they can't tell me. And some of us are wounded, even though you won. You defeated the Philistines. You overcame the obstacles. You defeated the giants. You defied the odds. But there's still a part of you that's wounded because you had to do it with a stick. You didn't have the support Gideon had. And you won, but you're still wounded. And you're carrying it in your soul. And some of you are in a season where this got to be dealt with quickly. You're not single. So the implications of your soul don't just affect you. They affect your children now. Look at me. They affect your spouse. They need a whole you.